we tried to, let me just check something. Yes, we just tried to make the code for the game manager, okay, in order to make the cells have the right row and column order, okay. So that turned out to be slightly incorrect. There are some things that are wrong. So let's just try to refine this again. So the left value and the up value, this left value itself basically means that I need to find out what's the minimum value of a cell. So let's say my cell is currently, let's go to the cell diagram. If I'm using like cell 5, okay, the left value is like 4. So we want to make sure that this 5 is greater than this value 4. If there is if if there's already a clover on this position, we want to make sure that this 5 is bigger than 4. If not, let's say if a 6 over here, and then there's an empty position here, but this position maybe is the number 10. So we want to make sure that if, let's say, this is empty, we want this to be greater than the the filled position over here. Okay, so basically, it is possible to just use the value, okay, of the grid cell if there's a grid cell. If not, then we use the mean value if there's no grid cell. Okay, so what we can do for here, we can redo this code here. So if the mean value, so the mean value is like a memory. Okay, if the mean value is 0, left value is 0. If, let's say, the grid cells, okay, of this left value, okay, if it's 0, okay, then what we can do is we can just take the max, okay, of the mean value with the mean value of the left one, okay. Else, okay, mean value I equals to, yeah, so something like this, okay. So what I would like to do is, okay, because we are repeating this left value quite a bit, okay, I would like to try to, instead of using left value, we just use value, okay. Okay, so basically this one, if no grid cells in that position, use pass memory, okay, which is the mean value or max value. So over here we have this. So what we can do is like that. For okay, so we can have a, yeah, basically we could have this, we initialize values to take in these two positions, okay, and then after that, yeah, just take in these two, and we look through the list of values for each value in values, okay, like that. Yeah, then what we can do is we can just repeat this whole thing for the max values part. So maybe let's try copying and pasting this whole thing here. Okay, so we have this. So this one is the up value. Oh, this is the right, and this is the down. Okay, for each value in values. Okay, if the value is greater than 0, okay, then over here what we'll do is we'll change this to max value, and max value here. and this will be a min. Yeah, and that should pretty much do the trick for the up, down, right, left, up, left, right, down for min and max value. So let's just do a check, okay, to see whether it works. Okay, line 202, the type value. Oh, okay, I forgot to give it int. Okay, up value does not exist in this context. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. Okay, we look from the front to the back and we compute the left and up. And then we look from the back to the front and we compute the right and down in order to get our mean and max values. Okay, and then based on the mean and max values, which basically, if there is a grid cell, we use the grid cell's value. Okay, if not, okay, if not, we use the if not, we use the value of the grid cell. Okay, that's this one is max value here. Okay, just make sure that things are all right. Let's see whether this works now. So this should give me the right way to change the right positions where the grid cells are available to be selected. So let's just try, see whether this works. Okay, let's see whether this works. Okay, so we give it a while. Okay, we try to load it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the one can be placed here. That's correct. But actually, it should be yeah, correct. You can't place it anywhere there. So let's just take a look at the min and max. 0 4 4 4. Okay, 0 4 4 4. That's correct. 4 4 7 7 4 4 7 7. Okay, so the mean value for this is 4, which is still wrong. Okay, it shouldn't be 4 over here. Okay, I mean, I can also replace this with 2. So this mean value is wrong here. 4 7 7 14. Set 4 7 7 14. Yeah, so this one is either this value up here or this value down here. So actually when it goes up, okay, it's not exactly the mean value we want to take here. We actually just want to go all the way to the top, okay, and find the cell. If not, yeah, so you see the mean value for here is 7, but that does not mean that once this value up here is 0, the mean value is 7. Actually, we should, yeah, hmm. Yeah, it might be better to just, like, for each cell, then we look all the way until the boundary and then we just find out what is the value. Or we could have like some cells over here, like we start with 0 0 0 0, then we go down 0. There are a few ways to do this, but it turns out that using the mean and the max value may not cut it. Okay, may not cut it. So what we need to do is we need to find out the. Okay, so maybe this return neighbor pos. Maybe we don't really need a mean value and a max value right now. Okay, so turns out that this may not be necessary. Yeah, we don't want the mean and max value right now. What we want to do is return the value of the nearest neighbor in that direction. Okay, so this one we could still make it return neighbor value. Okay, so yeah, basically we will revert back to our initial ones. Okay, we don't need this min and max value anymore. We don't need the print pretty anymore. Yeah. So I wanted to do a shortcut, but it turns out that maybe we need to do it the long way after all. So like that, current number greater than return neighbor value. Okay, uh, current pos, and the direction will be like if the current number is greater than the value at the top. Okay, and current num greater than return neighbor value current pos left. Okay, and the current number is smaller than return neighbor value current pos right down, and the current num is smaller than return neighbor value current pos up. Okay, so right, then we have a playable is to be true. Okay, so yeah, turns out that this is actually all we need. Okay, so later over here we also need to block the squares for the player turn. Okay, so actually this check playable, seems like we don't really need this anymore. We can just put it back here. Okay, yeah, did quite a few stuff. This print pretty, I'll keep it in case we have to print an array again next time. Okay, this can print out an array for us quite well. Okay, so right now what we want to do is we want to keep looping over here. Okay, until we hit a grid. Okay, so what we can do is like this. Okay, this one, if current pos greater than 0, return to 0. This one return 21, and return 0. This one return 21. Okay, so what we can do right now is we can do this. Okay, yeah, can return -1. Okay, so what we can do is we can do a while loop here. Okay, uh, okay, over here is if. Okay, if grid cell. Okay, here we can do this. If grid cell current pos plus offset. Over here, maybe we don't need the offset here anymore. If grid cell current pos plus offset, okay, not equals to 0, okay, then we return this grid. That's all. So okay, so what we need to do now is we need to look through this until like it returns something. So how many times do we need to look through this? We just need to look through this 4 times. Okay, because in 4 times we already do the up down left right direction all the way until it reaches the edges or it reaches a square. So we basically keep looping through the operation until it hits a non-zero global grid value, or it hits the edges of the grid. Okay, if it hits the edges of the grid, we're just going to return 0. If it's the top or the left, if it's the down or the right, we return 21. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Okay, then maybe over here we can just return -1 if let's say uh, we don't hit anything at the end. Okay, just to fulfill the criteria that we return something. Okay, so yep, then we will call this. So basically each of this will run in O 4 times because you need to look through 4 times. Okay, and then this is 32 times. So 32 times 4 is like 100 over times. I think it's still quite still not very complicated. It's quite all right. Hang on. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so let's see. Okay, lots of errors here, but it's fine. The name grid cell does not exist in this context. Okay, so let's see the grid cell part first. So it should be grid cells. Okay, and they say the name current pause does not exist, right? 216. Okay, so I guess it is current num rather than current pos that I should be using here because the current num is the number we want to put. Okay, so we just change this to current num. Okay, all right, let's see. Oh, that's great. Okay, now let's hope for the best and we hope that the logic is well implemented already. So let's take a look. So this basically just loops all the way up, down, left, right. Okay, let's see. Okay, so 19, okay, by right, it's supposed to be playable here, here, here. Okay, you can replace this 20, you can play 19 all the way here, all the way here, and then you can also replace the diagonals, okay? So right now you see that nothing is lit up. So I mean something is wrong here. Okay, let us go back to our code, attempt to find out what's the issue here. Okay, oh no, my computer is lagging. Uh, where's my? Sorry, I seem to have lost my. There it is. Yes. Not sure the reason for the lag, but it's lagging. It's lagging really badly. You just gotta don't mind me until I clear this lag. Okay, so yeah, could it be that the deck to playing square function I call it many times in the next play? If to play deck to playing square, but this is to play is force, so she only run once. Okay, so this current num is wrong. It's not current num here. It should be the pot position. So where is my position for this? Yeah, let's see the clover function. I mean the clover script. You can see that the clover has a few functions. Get number. Yeah, we can get number. We can also get the position actually. Set position. Is the position a public variable? Grid num. Yeah, so we need to go to game manager. This is not current. So basically there needs to be a grid num over here. So maybe like in current pos equals to current clover dot grid num. Yeah, so maybe all these are current pos, current pos, current pos. Okay, so this looks good. Game object does not have. Yeah, it's the grid num and the clover that we are looking for. So that's what we need to get. Okay, now none of them are activated. Hmm. Oh, okay, okay. I get it. Ah, this should be I, not current pos. Yeah, we don't need the clover's current position because that clover, okay, that clover will be set. Okay, this clover that we want, right? This clover will be set to the player one square or the player two square, which is the playing square. And the position will always be -2. The playing square position is the playing square position is -1, so it's always going to be -1. So actually, what we want for this, we want this to be I. Yes, I remember this now. Okay, so let's see. This should work actually. I don't see any reason why this doesn't work. But let us check whether it works. Okay, let us check whether it works. So yes. Now you can replace all these things. Okay, let's just replace the top one. 15. Okay, so 15 it can go down here, down here, down here, here, here. Yes, all this yes, but why can it replace this view as well? Okay, so like over here is it's not supposed to go here. Like over here 10, it can go everywhere. That's not true also. So this part here, the logic here is not there. Okay. Yes, it must be greater than the left. Okay, but it must be smaller than the down also. So it's smaller than the down part. It's not okay. Almost there. Almost there. We are almost there. We're almost there. Almost okay. We almost could make it work. So let's see what's the reason. It must be smaller than the down. Yes. Must be smaller than the right. Yes. Did I do this down part wrongly? The down and the right part. Current pos greater equals to 12. Return 21. The offset is wrong. Maybe 16. Yeah, because there's only 16 cells. Can't believe that this offset didn't get detected earlier. So that, basically, I wasn't doing it with an offset. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe this would make it work. Yeah, see, now you can see that all these are being displayed here. Okay, but I cannot click on this field, which is correct because all these cannot be played. Okay, right now the only issue is that the golden color thing is not that obvious. Okay, but let us just see whether it works. So all this, yeah, see, very nice. So we have gotten the logic to work. All this here cannot, but this one can. Yes, correct. This one can. Yes. All this can. All right. So looks like we have gotten this part working. Okay. The only downside to this is that yeah, looks like it's working already. Yeah. Okay, this is like exactly how we would play the game. Awesome. So yes, all these squares are playable. One, two, three, four. This one is not like that here. Yeah, so it's like all the squares are playable. Okay, now we need an option to put it to the table. Okay, so we need to make the table a clickable table so that this thing here can go straight to the table. But before that, yes. Oh man, this took 2 hours to solve this problem. Yeah, must be a difficult one. Okay, so I don't quite like the clovers like blinking thing. It's not very obvious. Like it's not very obvious that that position can be clicked. So maybe what could be done is I could make the image color change also. Image. Yeah, let's also make the image glow. Okay, image equals to components image. Let's make the image glow also. So equals to this. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look whether it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I would like the not just the clover to glow, the button also. The button should also, the color should also change. So let's go to the scripts button. So there should also be an image over here. Image equals to get component image. Yeah, I guess it's not very obvious like how the glow is. So let's just make it. This is originally white. So over here, image dot color equals to the same thing here. Okay, let us see now. The whole cell should glow golden now, which will make things easier for us. And let us see how it looks like. It looks like in about 1 to 2 days, we should be ready to code the AI for this game. Okay, wow, this game sure took a long time. Yeah, okay, where's my scene? Okay, let's take a look. Nice. Okay, although there's a slight issue here. The issue is that when the color fades, it like fades completely. Yeah, so maybe we need to, let it fade properly. Mm, is there a way to do like a shading without affecting the actual color? So let's see. Yeah, is there a way to do like some sort of glow effect over the color without changing it? Or either that, or we can make the outline much thicker so that people know. Because right now, if we make it glow like that, it's nice, but the effect was a little too much. So maybe this one could increase the effect distance a bit to make it like 5 for the clover and 5 for the button. Yeah. So we don't have to change the image color. Let's just remove the image color. Okay, let's not change the image color. It didn't look very nice just now. Yeah, we tried it. It didn't look nice. So let us remove it. So I just merely increase the size of the outline, and hopefully this should help to uh, make it more pronounced where you can put. Yeah, does it look a little too intimidating though with this thick golden thing? Or is it better not to not to have any position to light up? Or when it's lit up, we don't do this glowing effect, or we increase the time frame, because right now the time frame for this glowing effect may be a little too fast. Yeah, so maybe we could do like 3. I don't know. I mean, wait, I'm just trying stuff out. Yeah, I guess just now it felt like the glow was a little too fast. So let's try to make the glow a little slower. Yeah, maybe it would help with the visual aspect for the player. Let's try again. Okay, let's try again. No harm to do this. Let us try one more time. One more time. Looks good. If I just like went to the glowing state much longer than I expected it to be. Yeah, maybe what we really need is to just time scale. Yeah, let's just have a time scale here, and then we would have a public float time scale, maybe 0.2, so that we reduce the time needed. Okay. Here public float time scale 0.2, and then we just do a time dot time scale. Okay, because this tree is like making it uh, go above the, making it show a little too long. Let's try again. Now this is a little slow. Oh, actually, is it okay if I just show the outline without like moving it? Yeah, maybe 0.5 would do. A time scale of 0.5, maybe. Let's not make it public. Let's just make it private. Okay, it's public. I need to adjust from the. Let's make the time scale private. Okay, same thing for the button click. Let's just make this time scale private. Because the original speed, like sort of like, was a little too fast. Yeah, but the new speed is kind of a little too slow. So let's see. Oh, there's an error. Forgot to put the floats. Okay, but now it should be okay. Now everything should be okay. Okay, let's try again. Let's try again. Okay, let's see. Nice. Hmm. Yeah, this effect looks good. Okay, maybe I can make this like slightly less thick. This going down the speed is a little slow, especially for player two since it's so far away. Yeah, it's like, let's say if I remove this. Yeah, this speed here is good, but the earlier speed when going down to the, okay, this is just aesthetics. The earlier speed when going down to uh, the play area is a little slow. Okay, let's try to expedite that. Okay, so like back to playing square. Let's try to have the same speed. So let's say when we set position, okay, the target position is this position. Okay, we get the distance. Okay, how can that to get the distance between two vector trees? Okay, let us see whether we can do that. Get position, get distance between two vector trees. Unity. Yeah, if there's an inbuilt function to do that, that would be great. Yeah, vector tree dot distance. Okay, So we could do this. Move speed equals to, so where's my, is there a move speed? There isn't, so we have a move speed over here. So move speed equals to vector 3 dot distance, target cost and the position from dot position. And then maybe we do it over 100. Okay. Yeah, so that based on the distance that it needs to travel, varying move speed based on distance. So based on the distance that it needs to travel, okay, it will increase its speed accordingly so that when the clover flies, it appears that it takes about the same time to fly regardless of where it flies to. So now let's see the visual aspect for this. See whether is it okay. Yes, looks good actually. Like if it's a short distance, it goes slower. Yeah, fast and crisp. This is a little too slow though. I think 7 good uh is a good thing. So maybe we do a minimum of 7 or that one. So what we can do is, yeah. So minimally is 7, but if it needs a little longer to go there, okay, it will go faster. So yeah, I guess if the thing move too slowly, it makes you feel very sleepy. So yeah, interesting. All these like subtle aspects of how you can program a game. So let's take a look. Let's take a look how to do this. Yeah. Just thinking whether or not like it's necessary to color this. You know what, if I activate but I don't show the color, because this color makes it look quite ugly. In all honesty, makes it look very very ugly. Maybe that's why they didn't have the color in the first place. So why is it so slow now? Max. Okay, so radical idea. So right now, maybe what we can do is we can, okay, we don't even have, okay, like all this image thing. Let's just, not have any of this. Essentially, we won't have anything to show that button. I mean, I guess for debugging wise, it's good to have us show, um, but maybe for now, what we can do is we can just comment it out because I find it very distracting actually, like that. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Okay, So I guess when you click on something, up there needs to say like invalid position or something like that. Yeah. So still a little slow for this movement down here. So maybe what we could do is we could the move speed might be a little too little, maybe divided by 10. I don't know whether it's too fast, but kind of like a speedy game transition. Yeah, let's see how it goes now. Play. Ah, very nice, very fast. Oh, wrong one. Oh, actually, this is quite good. This speed. I actually quite like the speed. Yeah, you should make it move really, really fast. Yeah, see that? See that? Yeah, looks quite good actually. Maybe what I can do is I can put a little golden, but if I put a golden tin, then it will be like exactly as like how it was just now, right? 7 maybe here, 11, yeah, 15, 8 maybe somewhere here, 10 can be here. It's a good position for that. 5, unfortunately 5 cannot, so I have to replace 8. 4 can be put here. 20, no good move. 10, replace this 9. 19, replace the 18. 2, replace the 4. 11 can be placed here. Okay, so yeah. So when we click, if we don't have the tin, when we click on this, you should display like invalid move. Yeah. It's either that or we make the tint very, very small, like how we did earlier. Yeah, let's go back to our prefab. Let's set the effect distance to be like 1, maybe. Yeah, it's like reverting back to the initial part, but you know, that's what we are doing now, try and error. So yeah, just see what looks good for the game. So I settled the like movement speed of the thing already. So of the clover. So now it looks pretty fast. The movement speed looks pretty fast. And let's see. Let's play it now. Nice. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, at least it shows people where to put, you know, without like really affecting the game too much. Yeah, it's like subtly visible, but not very visible. Yeah. Still thinking whether I should set it to two, yeah. Initially was two. Maybe I try two again, yeah. Revert back to the original. So the original prefab here was 2 2 for the button. Clover, so we can do a 2 2. Okay, so today what I like to do is also I like to do uh, click to table direct move. Okay, so I guess the later part of this stream, I will try. If let's say you cannot put on the grid, you can have an option to move to the table. Okay, so later on in another stream, we'll code the mechanic from taking from the table to the grid. Okay. Yeah, this looks good actually. Yeah, back to the original. Twelve over here, six over here, four over here. Very nice. Okay, the movement speed is so fast I can't really see the transition, which is great. Three goes here, 15 goes. So actually, when it's being pushed from the deck to the table, I can actually deactivate the glow. So let's do that. So in the Clover script, there's an inactivate here. So what we can do is when we have clicked on the Clover to table, right? Get component Clover dot inactivate. Okay, so that we stop the glow. It is kind of distracting to see the Clover glowing when it goes to the table. So let's try that again. So the glow should stop the moment we click on the Clover and the Clover transits to the table. Yeah, amazing, right? How a board game like this can be so hard to can be so hard to implement. Yeah, yeah. I think the glow is stopped. Can't really see because it's too fast. Yeah, which is good. I quite like the transition speed right now. Okay, then I need to do an option to put it on the table. So this table here needs to be a button. Okay, and this table here could take the component button because actually the script for this button should be exactly the same as the original button. So yeah, we could do that. Okay, so before I do the code from the grid to the button, sorry, from the grid to the table, uh, actually, should I just do it now? Yeah, yeah, okay, I think I can do it now. Yeah, grid to the table. So in the table, in the canvas, I will need to, in the top bar, table. So we need to find out what is this table object. Okay, in this table, let's add a component. We add a component called button. So we can just add a button click script. Okay, so actually this is the table cards and this is it. So because this table cards here is actually when I have this table here, it's actually referring to the table cards. I already have this component. So maybe I don't put the button click script here. I put it on the table cards. Okay, so that I already have a reference to it. Okay, so the button click script has two colors. Let's go and see what color is this. So FEC 300. So let's go to the, is also FFC 300. so actually this one should be FFC 300, right? FFC 300. Oops. FFC 300. Hexadecimal, yeah? Hexadecimal. It's clover. The color here will be FFC 300 and FFC 300 for the bottom one. Okay, so FFC 300. Go to here. That component outline. FFC 300, right? FFC 300. FFC 300. The alpha is full, like that. Here we also have FFC 300, but the alpha is 0. Oh no. Uh, let's just put this table class as prefab so it's easier to modify it. Uh, FFC 300. And this one, the alpha is full. Okay, so we have this. The grid num for a table, let's go see what's the grid num for a table. So if we go to Clover, if it's at the table, it means -2. So over here, the grid num for table cards could be -2. Yeah. Okay, so right, let's just activate the table as well over here. So in our game manager, we also want to activate the table and make it clickable. Okay, we want to make the table clickable. Okay, when yeah, over here. Also activate the table. So table, or was it called table prefab, is it? No, table dot get component button click dot activate. Where's the one to deactivate all the stuff? Yeah. And we can activate all this, but once we do like replace Clover, we want to inactivate everything. Okay, let's see. Inactivate Clover to table. There we go. Set buttons inactive. Yeah, so we set the table to be inactive using the set buttons inactive, which is called where we call update values, which is called when it's the next play we update the values here. Okay, so we can see that now the table will become a button that's clickable, and then we can send our Clover to the table. Okay, let's see. This one doesn't really show the outline, does it? Yeah, it's like I can't really click here. Supposed to set the table active, but I don't see a. Did I put this table cards in the game manager? I did. Why is it not setting it active? I don't need this anymore actually. I print pretty now. Okay. Yeah, it's under deck to playing square. Yes, so I set the location of my clover here. But the problem is when I click on my table, it doesn't give me anything. So, there's supposed to be oh, we didn't add in the button, is it? Is that why? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, so over here on click, let's just do it over here again. Yeah. So this one, remove component. I'll add the component of a button here. That was silly of me. I forgot to add a button here. And this one, basically on click, you will go to table class, and then in the button itself, or rather in the button click itself, we'll use the click function, which will do this. Mm, it's not able to click the. It's not able to click the button here. Could it be because the button over here, I need to place it up here, is it? I need to place the button here, is it? Mm, yeah. Yeah, let's see what the rest have. So we have a button, interactable, yes. Let's see, button, interactable, yes. Target graphic, clover image. Okay, I guess it's because I don't have an image component, is it? Yeah, maybe I need an image component for this button to work. So over here, let's see the clover, UI sprite, UI sprite. Let's just do UI sprite also. Target graphic, remove this component into a button. There we go, table cuts. Okay, very good. So essentially, you can see that the whole table here has now become a button. Okay, the table cards have become a button. Okay, we should probably place the table below it so we can still see this table. And then this color, initially the table itself had a color that was given here, FFC140. So actually we can remove the image here, and then we can add this table cards to be FFC140 over here, FFC140, like that. Yeah, then we can see that there's this glowing tint now over the table. Let's take a look. Yeah, so we can do the table as well. Okay, so you see, when we go to the table, all of them take the table position, which is great. But we need to do something more. Okay, because we don't want it to just show like that. We want all the cards to space out evenly on the table. See, right now, we can put this on the table, but it's not spaced out at all. Okay, we want it something like this. You see, something like this to space out. We don't want such that when you put on the table, it just goes to the table middle position. So something needs to be done here. Okay, and that something can easily be done because we actually have a script in the game manager that allows us to centralize this add clover to table. It's called clover to table. Okay, so it depends on how we call the set position. So this button click will call a set location function over here. Okay, which will set the position like that. Okay, so basically if, okay, grid num greater than 0, then we do the set location. Okay, but if this grid num is less than 0, then we do this called set table. Yeah, okay, so set table basically just brings the clover to the table. So over here we already have this clover to table, right? So it's actually under current clover. So what we can do is set table. Okay, okay, because they you can also call the grid num here. Okay, we can actually call this clover to table. Actually, what we can just do is call this clover to table current clover. That's all. Yeah, we need this set table function, but we don't need the grid num. Okay, we can just call this function and then it will straight away set the clover to the table. Okay, let's just see whether this works. Okay, so if the button is on the table, then set clover to table. Okay, so we have this function called set table now that we set the clover to the table. And now let us see whether this works. Okay, after we set it to the table, it did not call for the next card to come out. So let us see. So this clover to table, okay, although it can go to the table directly, okay, this clover to table itself is not sufficient, okay, because we need to start the coroutine next play. Actually, this replace clover is called in deck to playing square, right? Deck to playing square, we have a replace clover somewhere, right? Replace clover, get this. Yeah, I guess replace clover is called by, yeah, it's called by the clover itself. So after you replace clover, we start coroutine next play. We need to start the coroutine next play for the set table as well. Okay, so that we can call the next card. Okay, so over here is wait 2 seconds before this player gets a card. That's exactly what we are doing here. We are doing a coroutine so that after we place it on the table, okay, we essentially call the next card out. Nice. You see what we have done here? Okay, so now we need to do one more thing, okay, which I'll do in the next stream because I need to go off already. Um, what we need to do before the game can we can start programming the AI soon. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We're gonna start programming the AI soon. All this stuff, wow, this has been tough, man, to do this game. Yeah. The next step we need to do is once we have stuff on the table itself, we want the user to choose, okay, one of these cards here, and then once it choose the cards, okay, the table will be activated differently, okay. So you can either choose one of the cards on the table, or he can click on the deck. At the moment he clicks on the deck, a card will come down, okay. If not, then he can click one of these cards on the table, and then we can have an outline over these cards, okay, which can be of a different color from the normal outline. We can have outline over these cards, okay, and then we can click on one of these like cells on the grid, and we can make this card from the table fly down to this grid. Okay, so the next step that we'll be doing next, since like we already have sort of coded the like put on the table and like replace the grid kind of thing, the next thing to code, right, will be to take the card from the table and put it on the grid, and that will be the next stream. All right, so stay tuned and I'll see y'all. Okay, bye.